Mickey Feener, hanged July the 13th, 1961. On July the 13th, 1961, Owen Maxwell Feener, 23, who went by the nickname Mickey, was hanged at the Temiskaming District Jail in Haileybury, Ontario, for the beating and stabbing murder of 26-year-old Kathleen K. Chouinard at Timmins, Ontario, on October the 4th, 1960. Feener was born in Nova Scotia and worked as a hard rock miner. He came from a dysfunctional family and had an IQ in the 60s, often being described as retarded. But, in spite of his lack of intelligence, the 6-foot blonde giant had no trouble attracting women. At the time of his arrest in Kirkland Lake, Ontario, he was initially detained on an outstanding reckless driving charge. Feener was driving a red Austin Healey sports car, on the hood of which he had spelled his nickname Mickey in adhesive tape. A red Austin Healey sports car which belonged to a woman named Kathy Essers, who he had murdered near Fredericton, New Brunswick, in September 1960. As Essers' decomposing body had been discovered, he was detained, and when confronted by Timmins police, who were investigating Kay Chouinard's disappearance, he confessed to killing her and led police to her battered body. Taped to the sports car's dash were pictures of 8 young women. One was Kay Chouinard, one was Kathy Essers, and one was of Dolly Woods, a 17-year-old waitress who had disappeared from Kirkland Lake in April 1959. Feener would confess to her murder shortly before his execution. The 5 other young women were never identified. Feener said he murdered Kay Chouinard as she became upset, quite naturally, after he told her of killing Kathy Essers. Feener suffered from epilepsy and had received a serious head wound from an accidental gunshot when he was 8 years old. It has been suggested that he committed his murders when in an epileptic trance. An epileptic trance. But the jury took only 15 minutes to find him guilty, and he became the last of 9 men hanged at the Temiskaming District Jail. Feener's last meal consisted of steak, fries, and ice cream, while his last words on the scaffold were to the effect that Nova Scotia men were not afraid to die. Earlier, he had donated his eyes to an eye bank with the comment, quote, "I hope the poor devil who gets them trains himself to look at something besides skirts during the course of his life." Did Mickey Feener kill more than 3 women? Was he a serial killer? The secret died with him. The primary source for today's video is the section on Feener in The Last Dance, Murder in Canada by criminologist Neil Boyd. I also read an article by a woman claiming to be Feener's daughter. I've put a link to it and various other sources in the description. If you enjoyed today's video, please drop a like, comment, and consider subscribing to The Gallows, where we explore Canadian murder cases which ended on the scaffold. And remember, if you're born to hang, you'll never be shot. Cheers.